Have you ever wondered why you were born into your family? Sometimes it can feel confusing, especially when family relationships are difficult or painful. But what if there is a deeper purpose behind it? Could it be that your soul chose this family for a specific reason? Life often places us in situations that challenge us, but those challenges might hold hidden treasures. Even toxic family dynamics might carry lessons that your soul needed to grow. Instead of punishment, these experiences could be opportunities to learn forgiveness, patience, or strength. In this video, we'll talk about the idea of soul purpose and why certain family connections may feel heavier than others. If you've been asking why you face the challenges you do with your family, stay tuned. You might find that even the hardest relationships hold a powerful meaning waiting to be understood. Toxic families can feel like a burden, but they may hold a bigger purpose in your life. For those who feel called to make a difference or bring change, toxic families can act as a forging ground. These challenges shape individuals into stronger, more compassionate, and wiser people. It's not easy, but the struggle often prepares you for something greater. One important purpose of toxic families is breaking generational cycles. Patterns like emotional neglect, unhealthy communication, or destructive behaviors often pass down through generations. Being born into a family with these issues might mean you are chosen to stop the cycle. It can feel overwhelming, but it's also a chance to rewrite the story for future generations. By recognizing these patterns and making conscious changes, you become a source of healing and growth, not just for yourself, but for your entire family line. Toxic families also act as mirrors. They reflect personal patterns that might need attention. If you notice repeating issues such as feeling unworthy, misunderstood, or abandoned, these experiences might be showing you areas to heal within yourself. By facing these challenges, you grow stronger and more aware. Toxic family dynamics teach resilience, self-love, and how to set boundaries. These lessons may not be pleasant, but they are valuable for personal growth. Another purpose of toxic families is teaching the importance of choice. You may not be able to control where you were born, but you can control how you respond. Choosing kindness, forgiveness, or even distance when necessary teaches you that you have the power to shape your life. Toxic families remind you of your strength and your ability to rise above hardship. For many, toxic families also ignite a sense of purpose. The pain and challenges can inspire you to help others or create positive change in the world. Some of the most compassionate and impactful people draw their strength from overcoming family difficulties. These experiences can give you insight into what others are going through, making you a source of support and understanding. Ultimately, toxic families might serve as a space where your soul grows. They push you to learn, heal, and transform. While the process is difficult, the growth you achieve may be exactly what your soul needed to fulfill its higher purpose. Family dynamics can be challenging, but they often hold valuable lessons for our growth. One key factor in understanding these dynamics is recognizing ancestral and generational patterns. Many issues in families are not random. They are passed down from one generation to the next. Behaviors, beliefs, and ways of coping can stem from unresolved pain or trauma within the family line. You might find yourself repeating these patterns without realizing it, or you might feel called to break them. Becoming aware of these patterns is the first step toward healing and creating a better future. Instead of seeing family members as enemies, try to view them as teachers. This perspective can shift how you approach conflicts and misunderstandings. Even the most painful relationships can teach you something valuable. For example, a controlling parent might teach you how to set boundaries and stand up for yourself. A sibling rivalry could teach patience and humility. Each family member reflects something within you, whether it's a strength to embrace or a weakness to address. Pain within family dynamics can also act as a pathway to awakening. When family relationships hurt, they push us to ask deeper questions about ourselves and our purpose. Why do certain behaviors trigger us? What wounds from the past still need healing? This pain can guide you toward greater self-awareness and inner peace. It's through facing these challenges that you often grow the most. Family struggles also highlight the importance of compassion and forgiveness. While it's not always possible to reconcile every relationship, understanding that everyone is carrying their own pain can help ease resentment. People often act out of fear, insecurity, or their own unhealed wounds. Recognizing this doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it allows you to release the emotional weight it might hold over you. At times, the role of family in your life is to help you grow into the person you are meant to be. Their actions, both good and bad, shape your character and teach you resilience. Even when family members hurt you, the experience can teach you how to create healthier connections in the future. These lessons are not easy, but they are often necessary for your personal growth. Understanding family dynamics also requires you to take responsibility for your own healing. While family patterns may influence you, you have the power to choose how to respond. Breaking free from negative cycles and creating a life aligned with your values is within your control. By healing yourself, you contribute to healing the family line, even if others don't recognize it right away. Family relationships are rarely perfect, but they are often meaningful. The conflicts, challenges, and moments of pain all hold lessons that guide you toward becoming the best version of yourself. By choosing to face these dynamics with courage and understanding, you can transform pain into growth and chaos into clarity. Personal transformation begins with focusing on yourself rather than trying to fix others, especially family. It's natural to want to change family members who hurt or frustrate you. But true healing starts within. When you shift your attention to your own growth, you create a solid foundation for lasting change. Trying to fix others often leads to disappointment, but working on yourself can bring peace and clarity. Healing yourself is powerful. It allows you to break free from old patterns and release the pain that holds you back. Instead of reacting to family conflicts, you can respond with understanding and calm. This shift helps you regain control over your emotions and creates a healthier way of interacting. Healing is about recognizing what you can control, your own thoughts, feelings, and actions, and letting go of the need to change others. Changing yourself can transform how you experience life. When you focus on your growth, you naturally start to see things differently. Situations that once caused anger or frustration may no longer affect you the same way. This change isn't about ignoring problems, but learning to approach them with a new perspective. By working on yourself, you gain inner strength and peace, which positively impacts your relationships. The ripple effects of personal growth are often surprising. When you change, it inspires those around you to reflect on their own behaviors. You don't have to force others to grow. Your example speaks louder than words. For instance, setting healthy boundaries can encourage family members to respect your limits. Practicing forgiveness can soften strained relationships. These changes may not happen immediately, but your growth plants seeds that others can notice and, in time, follow. Personal transformation also shows the power of self-awareness. When you recognize how your actions and emotions contribute to family dynamics, you can choose a healthier path. This awareness gives you the tools to break generational cycles and create a new way of relating. Instead of repeating the same conflicts, you can approach relationships with patience, understanding, and love. Working on yourself also creates a sense of freedom. You no longer feel trapped by family issues or toxic patterns. Your focus shifts from what's wrong with others to what you can improve within yourself. This freedom allows you to live more authentically and in alignment with your values. It's a process that takes time, but each step forward brings more clarity and confidence. Lastly, personal transformation reminds you that change is possible, even in difficult circumstances. While you can't control how others behave, you can choose how you respond. This choice empowers you to move forward, even if your family stays the same. Your growth becomes a source of strength that helps you face challenges with grace and wisdom. The healing journey begins with courage. Specifically, the courage to confront your wounds. These wounds might come from painful family experiences, unkind words, or unmet needs from your past. Ignoring these feelings doesn't make them disappear. Instead, they tend to show up in your relationships, choices, and even in how you see yourself. Facing these wounds can be uncomfortable, but it's the first step toward freeing yourself from their hold. Acknowledging your pain is not about blaming others. It's about understanding where the hurt began so you can start to heal. An important part of healing is separating yourself from your family's story. Family dynamics often shape how you see the world, but they don't define who you are. You might have been labeled in certain ways: too sensitive, not good enough, or always the one to fix things. These labels can feel heavy, but they don't have to stay with you. Separating yourself means recognizing that your worth isn't tied to your family's opinions or struggles. You are your own person, capable of creating a new story for yourself. Taking responsibility for your healing is another key step. While your pain may not be your fault, your healing is your choice. This doesn't mean you excuse harmful behavior or forget what happened. Instead, it means choosing to focus on what you can do to move forward. Healing often involves setting boundaries, seeking support, and learning healthier ways to cope with emotions. It's about taking small, consistent steps to nurture yourself and grow. The healing journey also requires self-compassion. It's easy to judge yourself for not getting over things quickly or for still feeling affected by past hurts. But healing is not a straight line, and it doesn't have a deadline. Being gentle with yourself during this process allows you to make progress without feeling overwhelmed. Each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to peace. Through this process, you may find that healing doesn't just change you, it changes how you relate to your family. You might approach difficult relationships with more understanding or feel less triggered by old patterns. While family members may not change, your growth allows you to respond differently, which can shift the dynamic. By focusing on your healing, you create space for a healthier, more authentic version of yourself to emerge. Breaking free begins with understanding the difference between internal and external liberation. External liberation may involve setting boundaries, moving away, or limiting interactions with toxic family members. These actions create physical or emotional distance, which can be necessary for your well-being. However, true freedom comes from within. Internal liberation is about releasing the emotional ties that keep you stuck: guilt, resentment, or the feeling of not being enough. While external steps create space, internal work helps you reclaim your peace, regardless of the circumstances around you. An important part of this journey is becoming aware of inherited patterns. Many behaviors, beliefs, and reactions are passed down through generations without question. For example, you may notice that certain ways of handling conflict, managing emotions, or even defining success come directly from your family. Awareness is key because you cannot change what you don't recognize. When you take time to identify these patterns, you can decide which ones serve you and which ones you're ready to let go of. This process breaks the cycle, ensuring that the pain of the past doesn't continue into the future. Self-love, compassion, and discipline play a major role in breaking free. Self-love means recognizing your worth beyond the roles and expectations placed on you by your family. It's about treating yourself with kindness and knowing that you deserve peace and happiness. Compassion allows you to see both yourself and your family with understanding, acknowledging that everyone is shaped by their own wounds. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, but it helps release bitterness that can keep you tied to the past. Discipline is the bridge between awareness and change. Breaking free isn't a one-time decision. It's a series of choices made daily. It takes discipline to stick to boundaries, challenge old beliefs, and prioritize your healing, even when it feels hard. Over time, these small acts of self-care and accountability lead to a life where you feel more in control and at peace. Breaking free doesn't mean leaving your family behind completely. It means freeing yourself from the pain and patterns that no longer serve you. With each step toward self-awareness, self-love, and consistent effort, you create the life you've always deserved. Toxic family dynamics often serve as a powerful training ground for personal growth. The challenges you face within these relationships can push you to develop strength, resilience, and wisdom. They reveal the areas in your life that need healing and guide you toward becoming the best version of yourself. These experiences may feel heavy, but they often prepare you for a greater purpose. As a chosen one, your role is unique. You are called to break free from the cycles that have trapped your family for generations. This is not a punishment, but a sacred responsibility. By facing and transforming the pain, you create a pathway for healing, not just for yourself, but for those who come after you. Your growth sets the stage for a new legacy of love, understanding, and balance. By embracing this purpose, you contribute to creating generational change. The choices you make today influence the patterns of tomorrow. Through self-awareness, healing, and a commitment to growth, you plant seeds of transformation that will benefit future generations. Your courage to confront and heal toxic patterns ensures that the pain of the past does not define the future. You have the power to turn your family's story into one of strength, hope, and renewal.